King Charles is celebrating his 75th birthday today, and he was treated to a special rendition of that song.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, and the day just keeps getting better for him, for he is now entitled to a free TV licence.
Wow.
It's understood, however, that he will also receive a transatlantic phone call from none other than the Prince of Netflix himself, Harry. Charles will also host a reception for NHS nurses and launch a project to help people facing food poverty. Well, joining us live to discuss the lot of it is former royal editor at The Sun, Charlie Rae. So for one Charlie about another Charlie, do you think he's enjoying his birthday today?
I think he is, but Alex, I have to correct you. He's not going to get a free TV licence because nobody is going to get a free TV licence at 75 because the government decided to scrap it.
Oh.
So that's one present he's not going to get. But no, I think he will enjoy
that, don't you, Charlie? Because
I'm 35 years
you got
away
your
from
free
that date.
licence about 10 years ago when you were 75, right?
No, I'm the same age as the King now, and I don't get a free TV licence, Kevin. As you well know, I like my freebies, but I'm not getting.
I do know that.
No, he's having a good day so far. I noticed in that little celebration there was no little ginger-haired boy singing happy birthday to him, but he may well make that phone call. Now, how do we know that Harry is going to make that phone call? Because Harry's office itself actually tried to put forward a correction to a BBC report that said he was going to attend the King's supper tonight at Highgrove. So they put out and said, no, I'm not going to be there. So that's how we know that there's possibly going to be a phone call, which is interesting because when Harry had his birthday in September, neither Charles or William congratulated him. So we'll have to wait and see if that phone call actually does come.
I was going to say, when I saw that Harry was going to ring him, I was a bit surprised because we've been reading reports now for a couple of weeks that relations between Charles and Harry and Meghan are more arctic than ever. The feud between Harry and William gets worse by the day. So I would suggest to you, Harry, Harry? I called you Harry.
I'm Charlie.
I'm with Charlie. I get the right royal. I would suggest to you, Charlie, that this phone call isn't going to happen.
No, I don't think it is going to happen. So I'll be surprised if it does, because Harry didn't send any birthday messages, for his evil stepmother, the current Queen, which he describes in his book Spare. So it'll be interesting to see if Harry actually makes that phone call, because the King certainly won't. I mean, one thing about the King is he's still deeply hurt by the way that Harry has acted ever since he left the royal family to go and live in Montecito with the soap actress. So he's not at all happy with him, and you're right. I cannot see, Kevin and Alex, that he will ever be back in the fold in any shape or form. The relationship between them is icy, to say the least.
I mean, like all great royals before him, the King is using the opportunity of his birthday to actually give back to society in service and in duty. And, I mean, I'd say that the two things he's chosen to do, not massively creative, very safe in terms of what the royals like to do, which is, talking about the NHS and having nurses and midwives over to Buckingham Palace for a bit of a feast this evening. And then, in contrast to that, also setting up Coronation Food parcels or food banks. I wonder if there's going to be Dutchy organic quail's eggs as part of that. I mean, what are your thoughts on these choices? Do you think those would have been decisions close to Charles' own heart?
Oh, absolutely. I think you're quite right, Alex. He wanted to give something back, and this is a way of giving. So it's not a food bank, it's a food project where there'll be depots up and down the country, which will bridge that gap between food waste and food need. So there won't be so much food thrown away that's not necessary to be thrown away, but will help others who need it more. And this is something that the royals do quite well. They're very, very good with the various charities that they support. And it does help an awful lot. And it does bring in a lot of money when people know they're supporting a particular charity or event. Money does flow in.
Let's unpack, if we may, some of the tenets of this feud that is going on between the royal family here in Britain and the other part of the royal family in California. And what the King is very upset about and will not forgive unless Harry apologises is the way Harry has treated Camilla, particularly in his book, where he called her, what did he call her, the evil witch or something. So it is the treatment of Camilla that has so upset Charlie. Meanwhile, so Charlie kind of wants an apology from Harry. It's not forthcoming because, extraordinarily, Harry says the royal family and the King owe him an apology. I'm not quite sure why, but that is the nature of the standoff, isn't it?
It is the nature of the standoff. You're absolutely right. And, you know, the King has always made it clear, even when, you know, he's going through his divorce from Diana and everything else, the one thing, the one person that was always off limits was Camilla. That was the love of his life. He's finally married her. He's finally made her queen. Everything's going hunky-dory. And his son has stepped on a minefield with attacking Camilla. And it is wrong of him to do so because Charles will never forgive him for that. It's absolutely wrong. And despite what Harry says, there was a good relationship between Camilla and Harry and William right at the start. There's no question about that. So I don't know what went wrong. I don't know, you know, what his discussions were with Meghan and everything else. But, you know, he cannot attack Camilla in that way. Charles will never forgive him for it. And I doubt very much if he'll forgive him, even if he apologises for what he said, which I doubt he will.
A very happy birthday to His Majesty from all of us here
Absolutely.
at TalkTV. And thank you very much, Charlie Rae, former Sun Royal Editor there.